Namaste and welcome to a quick full body post-workout deep stretch. This is a great practice to do if you've been weightlifting, running, any kind of activity where you know you could benefit from a deep stretch in the end. So let's get to it. Let's stand up. The first stretch we're going to come into is Urdhva Hastasana. So you can just stand on your mat. I'm going to stand at the top of my mat. And what it is a full body stretch. So we're rooting down through the feet, lengthening through the sides to open our chest and pecs, and slowly raising your arms overhead. Once your hands reach up overhead, give them an interlace and then push your palms up towards the sky. So you want to feel that rooting down through your feet and at the same time lifting and lengthening up through the whole upper body into even the base of the palms, feeling that stretch through the wrists and forearms to the armpit area, the side body, and then feeling that grounding down from the hips down towards your feet. And just start to breathe here. So long, deep breaths, stretching the whole body, lengthening the spine after your workout. And even if you're just using this as a practice on its own, it's great. It's a nice, beautiful practice to sort of open up the body. Good. So from here, we're going to come into Uttanasana, a forward bend. So take your arms out to the sides and then slide your hands down to your thighs. And at the same time, push back through your hips, lengthening your spine, softening your knees, and maybe even bending them as much as you need to until you come into a forward bend. Now, you don't have to go as deep as me. Just go however deep you wish. Let the neck relax, the spine unwind, shoulders relax, and just breathe here. Trying to send the breath all along the spine. And with each exhalation, feel the upper body dropping over the legs. And soften your knees as much as you need to. I'd rather you bend your knees than fold from your upper back. It's nice to create a lengthening in the low spine in this pose. And you can shake out your head and neck if there's any tension there. You can even hold your elbows if you want to go a little deeper. I personally love this stretch after a long day or a tough workout. It really helps to just decompress the spine. Okay, keep holding 10 more seconds here. Maybe for some of us, you can start to straighten your legs. Take your weight more to the toes. And then reach down for the floor. We're going to walk back into downward facing dog. So if you need to do that from your knees, feel free to come down to your knees first. But we're going to walk back. And then just lengthening through the arms, really press the mat away from you. So the hands are shoulder width apart. You're going to drop the head between your arms, look towards your feet, and really press the mat away. So you're focusing here on the upper body for a second, focusing on the chest opening, externally rotate your biceps. So you want to feel your triceps sort of wrap around, hugging towards your heart. Feel that lengthening now through the side body from the armpit area back to your hip crest. Lift your sitting bones back towards the wall behind you. And then you can have your knees soft here or working on bringing your heels towards the floor. And don't worry if they don't come down. Long, deep breaths here. This is one of my favorite postures. It stretches the whole body, especially the back body. Works on all the chakras. Remember to breathe and expand. And at any point, come down onto your knees. Let's try to hold for a couple more breaths here. If any of you feel like pedaling out your feet, go for it. Kind of concentrate that stretch into your calf muscles. 2 more deep breaths here. Keep pushing away the floor with your hands. Relax your head. And then come down onto your knees and just sit back onto your heels. If that's not comfortable, come to sit onto your bum. Here we're going to take our arms nice and wide, and then we're going to cross the arms in Gardasana arms or eagle arms. So the right arm's going to come underneath the left, You're gonna hook at the elbows and then also hook at the hands here. So what we're trying to do is kind of cross at all the joints in the arms and shoulders here are feeling it. And we're gonna try to bring the arms in front of us, squeeze the chest through the arms at the same time, and try to pull the shoulder heads away from each other. So there's a lot of opposite energies at play here. The elbows drawing forward and in front, trying to balance out the shoulders and draw them outward, and trying to bring your heart through. You gotta keep breathing here. You should feel a stretch in your shoulder blades. And then just start to move with your elbows. So you'll inhale, look up. And then exhale, bring your elbows in towards your abdomen and round forward. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. And then come back through the midline. Open up your arms once again. This time crossing the left arm underneath the right at the elbows, and then at the wrists and hands if you can. If not, you're just going to hold your arms like this. Okay, good. And then from here, again, hold, kind of pulling out in all those directions. Try to balance out the shoulders so they're level. And then inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, last time, drawing it in. And then come back through the center, opening up your arms nice and wide. And then setting them down in front of you, coming to a tabletop position. We're gonna do some more work for the upper body. We're gonna do thread the needles. So right hand's gonna come up to the sky in a twist. And then exhale and slide that arm right underneath the left arm, and then dropping onto the right side of your head or cheek. And you might have a block underneath your head if you're having trouble reaching the floor. So you're stretching through the right shoulder. You can come up onto your left fingertips and just kind of rotate through the left side. Think of that side body from your left hip to armpit area, kind of revolving open. Or if you want, you can take this hand up, maybe hook it to your right hip crest or low back, and gently turn it open. And then bringing it back down. Come back to all fours. Let's do the other side. Inhaling up. Exhaling through. And then again, either coming up onto your fingertips, rotating here, or reaching up, maybe grabbing a hold of your left hip crest. So we're focusing on targeting everywhere, upper body, lower body, core, for a nice deep stretch. Good, we'll bring the hands down. Just coming forward into a variation of upward facing dog. So you're gonna drop the hips, roll the shoulders back and down, and kind of stretch through the abdomen here. So try to be heavy kind of through the hips and the pubic bone. Pull the shoulders back and down. Draw the chest forward, navel forward. And you might be doing this from your forearms too in Sphinx pose. Good, and then coming back to all fours. Take your right leg forward. We're gonna come into a lunge. Okay, now here, if your knee is sensitive, you can always take a cushion or blanket for that lunge. We're going to take the strap for a second here. And here in this lunge, we're going to keep the right hand forward and the right hand on the thigh, and then the left hand is going to just reach overhead and to your right. So we're stretching the abdominal muscles here and the major hip flexors in that left side. Squeeze your left buttock. Reach and extend your arm up and over and feel that stretch down the whole side body. Good. And then take your left hand down. When we're here, we're going to do a quad stretch. So you might take the strap around your foot, make a little loop, and then grab it in with your right arm. So you can bring it over your shoulder, or you can grab a hold of your foot like this. Okay, for some of us, you can lay onto your side, like doing like just laying on your side and grabbing your top leg and pulling that heel in towards your bum. So there's a lot of options here to stretch out our quads. But again, we just want to touch on everywhere today. Get us feeling really loose. Good, and then coming back. And then switching sides. So I'm going to take this, put my right knee on it, left leg forward, coming down into that lunge. Left hand's gonna stay on the leg, right arm's gonna reach up and open. So again, I'm squeezing my right buttock, I'm pushing down some pressure into the knee, getting heavy there and grounded, and then lengthening through this whole right side over towards the left side, getting a really beautiful stretch here. Okay, always making sure you're breathing. Taking that right hand down, reaching back with your left hand. So either looping your foot into a strap, grabbing a hold of your foot, or laying on your side. Pulling in the right foot towards the buttocks. Stretching the quad muscle here. You can stand up and pull your leg in as well with the same hand if that's easier. Generally, quadriceps are pretty tight on most people, so they are sometimes harder to get into these postures. Good, and then bringing it down. We're gonna come into pigeon. Now you can do this one on your back too, but I'm gonna show you the forward variation. You're gonna slide your right knee forward, the left leg, the lower leg's gonna go in towards the groin. You're gonna walk out with that left foot back. You want your hips square here, and then coming forward onto your forearms. Some of us might be able to slide forward and come down onto our chest or forehead, but make sure that your hips stay nice and flat as you do that. Good. Breathing, feeling that stretch in that outer hip. So our IT band, glute medius, piriformis muscle, all of these muscles in our outer hip that get pretty tight, especially if you're a runner. I'm not a runner, but I'm still pretty tight there. So depends on your body. Good, keep breathing. Good, and then just coming up. Coming back to that all fours position, slide that left leg forward, right leg back, square the hips, come back down, forearms, or maybe down onto your forehead, the arms extended. And you can relax your head here. Try to also soften up through the shoulders. So you're kind of just relaxing the upper body. Making sure that back leg is straight at the hip. It's not too far in or out. That'll keep the hips nice and even. Good, and then coming over and around into a wide leg forward fold. Okay, we'll get hamstrings and the adductors, the inner thighs. So pushing out through your heels, draw your toes in towards you, hands in front. Try to keep a flat back. If you find yourself rounding, tuck something underneath your bum, and then come forward and down to wherever you're comfortable. So some of us might just be on our hands, and we feel that stretch in the inner thighs and in the hamstrings. Some of us will feel that into our calves. Just keep breathing wherever you're comfortable. Good. Slowly coming up. Come to cross-legged if you can. If not, just leave your legs extended. Take your right arm out, send that left arm up and over to a little bit of a side bend. Good, then reach straight up. Take that left hand to your right knee and walk the right hand just behind your back a little more as you turn and twist. Back through the center. Left hand extending down. Right arm reaching up and over. Side bending. Try to keep some heaviness in that right hip so that you don't fall into that left side. And then bring that right arm straight up. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, and twisting gently. Try to lengthen up through the spine as you twist. And then coming back through center. We'll close by taking a deep breath in, raising the arms. And exhaling hands through heart center. Great work. You finished your full body stretch for post-workout. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.